Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the workshop. Now I'm going to take some time today to update you on where I'm at and on a few of the projects, and I'm going to share some resources for knife making and bladesmithing with you as well. Get started here. This is a funky piece that I've been working on for someone on Etsy. Here we are. Just forged out of a railroad spike knife. It's just going to be a piece to carry to a Renaissance festival, something like that. So pretty neat, something out of the box. Kind of reminds me of a sickle. Alright, and this is where we are on the battleship build, the USS Texas. Currently I have this is the metal from the torpedo blister of the ship. I've got it drawn out, and this is what I'm using as a core here. This is 1095 and 15N20. I've got a double layer of 1/4 inch 1095 for my core steel. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and forge this out, draw it out, cut it, stack it back up, probably just in a 2-stack. Probably go for 4 or 5 inches, and then I'm going to clad it in this, draw it out again. I got a couple of designs in mind that I'm going to go with, and so we'll just see what happens with that. And here's the knife from the short that I did the other day. This is made out of battleship steel as well. It's just a 1095 core with a strip of 15N20, and then of course the white areas there are the torpedo blister steel. I've got to clean it back up, get the handle put on it. But moving on, let's talk about some books and some videos that will help you in your knife making journey. Now, a lot of you that watch the channel are just getting into knife making, and you have a lot of questions, and I do my best to answer them, but I'm not the greatest at that. So I'm going to share some resources with you that hopefully can help out. This book right here, I bought this book off of Gent's Supply, and it's just tips to make knives like the pros. Now the cool part about this is it's got a lot of very nice photos of master bladesmiths' work in it, like Josh Smith, Kyle Royer, Michael Quisenberry, and of course it gives a lot of tips. And just read through this, it will really help you out in your knife making journey. Like I said, this is Knifemaking Hacks, 384 Tips to Make Knives Like the Pros by Jason Fry. Now, if you like more of the medieval style weaponry, things like that, this is a good book to get. We got this off of Amazon. And it has drawings and such in it, but it goes more in depth in the discussions of the swords and things used during that time period. Now, if you like Japanese style swords, which a lot of us do, this is a fantastic book here to get. This is Japanese Swords, Cultural Icons of a Nation, and there is a lot of really nice full color photos in there. And I believe that when you buy this off Amazon, it also comes with a digital download as well. Alright, and then here is the Art of the Japanese Sword, which is another really good one. This actually goes through showing the complete building process of a Japanese sword from beginning to end. And so it shows the different tsubas and everything else. It shows about the folding techniques and everything. It is a very interesting read. And so, lastly, in the books that I've got on hand is the Swords of the Viking Age. Now, this goes through a lot of your Viking swords, and there's black and white photos in here of actual pieces. So if you're doing a Viking build, this is a pretty handy book to have on hand because it talks about dimensions and lengths, goes in detail for all of the components, and also shows the different time periods and what was appropriate for them. See if I can get this to focus. And so you can kind of see there. So yeah, it's got a lot of nice components, a lot of nice parts in there to help you out. And I know that there's a YouTube Maker Challenge coming up about Viking swords, so that might be a book that you want to grab and keep on hand. Now, just for knife making in general, here's some DVDs and such that'll help you out. I'd purchased these to help me on the samurai build that I was going to be part of, but when my parents got sick, I dropped out of that one to focus on their care. But I got these from Walter Sorrells You can get them off his website. And it just covers all the components. I mean, here's the Forging the Japanese Sword Styles. This is the disc 2 of that. Here is the making of the samurai sword, making of the Japanese sword fittings. And this is the part 2 of that. It covers the habaki and everything else in there. And so, really good asset to have on hand. Now, if you want to get into file working, this is a good DVD to purchase. It's File Working by Dwayne Duchesne. Now, remember when you buy these DVDs, the video quality is not the greatest. I mean, it's nice and clear, but it's also older, so it's kind of fuzzy. This is a 2004 DVD, so don't expect 4K resolution, but the quality is more than clear enough to see what's going on. He goes really in depth on file work. Does it on folders, does it on fixed blades. I'm hoping to do a lot of this in the future. Haven't really had a chance to sit down and finish this DVD yet. And like this DVD alone is 2 hours and 13 minutes. And so you can find a lot of this stuff on YouTube as well, but having a DVD that is dedicated to this exact thing is nice to have on hand. It really is. If you're interested in buoys, especially D-guard buoys, this is a video done by Harvey Dean. He is an ABS Mastersmith. The D-guard Confederate buoy I made here on the YouTube channel, I actually watched this prior to that. It helped me figure out the guard, helped me design the guard jig that I use to bend the guard appropriately. And this DVD right here is 3 hours and 13 minutes. And so it's a nice one to have on hand. He goes really in depth, making this exact bowie knife here on the front with a mammoth ivory and everything. So, alright. And this DVD here is by Jerome Anders. It's called The Quillin of Quality. It's how to make a Mastersmith quality quillin dagger. And I bought this DVD to help me on the dagger build that I did for the dagger challenge. It helped out tremendously on the handle and everything, so it worked out really well. This is another 3-hour DVD, and I got this off of Texas Knife Maker Supply, and so it's a good one to have on hand, especially if you're going to get into doing daggers. And then we have, this is the entire set from J. Nielsen. I bought these whenever I was going to go on Forged and Fire, and when I first got into knife making. It covers the basic hunters, tips and tricks. There's a lot of really cool stuff on here. As you've seen here on the channel, there's sometimes I do a pivot joint in the middle of a tang when I'm doing a through tang. And if you look right here on this cover, right there's where I got it at. He discusses it in there and how to do it. And so, a lot of good stuff on this one. This covers advanced hunters. And all these videos right here are available on Chris Crawford's website, and these are available for digital download. There's also digital downloads on there and DVDs for Steve Schwarzer's work, various other knife makers, a lot of folder makers, stuff like that. I say this is Advanced Hunters. This is Canister Damascus. He makes a ball bearing Damascus and it shows how he goes about forging it out and making multiple knives out of one can. And then this is his bowie knives, and it shows how to make choppers and such. So pretty cool. And all of these DVDs, I mean, they're over 3 hours a piece. So, I mean, you look at that, 3, 6, 9, 12, there's 15 hours right here. And then on top of that too, you have the extra like 20 to 30 minutes per DVD. So they're pretty handy to keep on hand as well. Also, if you go to Burt Foster's website, Burt Foster is an ABS Mastersmith, and he has some intro to bladesmithing courses that are digital downloads on his site, and I think they're $25. And so that's not bad at all, especially when you're wanting to get into knife making. A $25 class can change your perspective on the way that you're doing things. Also, we know Kyle Royer does LearnKnifemaking.com, which is a monthly subscription fee, and then you get access to his extremely in-depth videos. Jason Knight has a series to where you can go. It's a Forge series to where you can go in and watch, and there's little questionnaires and stuff to help make sure that you're retaining what you're reading. Also, another good channel on YouTube here to check out is Tyrell Knife Works. You know, he does the Triple T videos to where he talks about tips and tricks and everything, and that's a really good channel to check out. And there's a lot of them here on YouTube. There really is. There's also a ton of these DVDs and videos out there from older makers that are really handy to get. I mean, just the J. Nielsen set alone completely changed my perspective on how to make knives. And so it's a really good one to get. But like I was saying, there's Jason Knight, there's Kyle Royer, there is Burt Foster. Ben Abbott has the Billet to Blade subscription service to where you can go and purchase it, and he goes through all of the steps to make a chef's knife, and I think it's just a couple of other style knives, but really interesting. But with that being said, just this little bit of stuff right here, and like I said, just these DVDs right here alone changed my perspective. So go out there and look around and see what you can find. Search YouTube, of course. It's really cool. There's a lot of people on here that make unbelievable things, but a lot of times we're constrained to having to edit a video down, so we can't slow down and show you individual forging processes, to where DVDs like this really break it down simply and in depth, so you can understand the different reasons why certain things are done the way that they are. But go check Texas Knife Maker Supply, Gent Supply, Pop's Knife Supply, and just dig around in their DVDs and books section. Check Amazon out, and everything like this, you know, it'll just help you out as a maker as you go forward. Join the groups on Facebook, and ask questions. And be prepared if you ask questions sometimes to get blasted, because you got to understand, when somebody asks a question about quench medium, a lot of these groups will have sections set aside with files and commentary covering that section. Another place to check for something like that is Red Label Abrasives has an entire section over quench mediums and temperature cycles and everything else. But so when you get on there and you ask it, you got to understand, they're not being hateful for the sake of being hateful. They're that way because there's like 50,000 people that get on there and ask the same question. And so, but with that being said, hopefully this will help you out on your knife making journey. I'll be welding this Damascus up here for the core of the battleship build here shortly, and I'm hoping to get that squared away and get you a video out next week on that. So with that being said, though, I appreciate you watching. If you would, hit that sub button down below, and I'll catch you soon. You all have a good one. Bye-bye.